Hey everyone, Dr. Tracy here. Welcome to our second week of CISGAME 403. I just wanted to go over with you what you should be doing this week. And if you look on the schedule, you see we're doing Intro to Python. I sent out an announcement. If you didn't get it by email, because it should go to your Panther email, you can always check the announcements to see what's sent out. So this week in Game 403, you're working on Python. And from the Python page, I've included 2 tutorials that I want you to go through to get familiar with Python. There are also 4 chapters to read. Lucky the book is free, but the reading is still required. So I've included links with that. Most of what you'll be doing this week is to get familiar with Python by going through the tutorials and doing the reading. The only thing that's due this week is the discussion that I've posted, discussion 2. So let's look at where you're going to find this information about Python. On the Intro to Python page, there are 2 tutorials here, both of which are going to give you a really good idea about the basics of Python. I'm not going to ask you to turn these in to show that they're completed. But if you come up with questions later on, I'm going to point you back to these tutorials and tell you where that information was. So I'd like you to be familiar with them. Learnapython.org is a tutorial that is recommended by Python, and it gives you several links to learn the basics. If I would suggest just going through maybe down, go through all of them, but at least get down to maybe functions. And that should get you really strong enough to get started in this class. But regardless, at least try the hello world, the variables, list, basic operators. When you look at some of the basic things that are going on in these tutorials, you'll see that by clicking on the link, it's going to take you to a tutorial that's got its IDE built into it. So you don't have to go and find any other software because it's right here. If you look at, here's the script for right here, Python, print, and then open close parentheses, and then a set of quotation marks will show exactly what it's going to print. And if you click run, it executes that code to see how it works. And the same is true as it goes down for each one of these. At the bottom, it shows an exercise. And in this exercise, it says use the print command to print the line hello world. Well, when you look on the statement that's there, it says goodbye world. And if you try to press run, it's going to tell you that the output is not correct. So all you have to do to fix it is type in, capital letters, hello world. And when you do that and press run, it tells you you're correct. Once you get correct, you move down to the button that shows next tutorial at the bottom of the screen. Right there. This one goes through several tutorials helping you get used to the basics, but obviously when you program in Python, you aren't going to be doing Python on an IDE that's built into a website. So in that case, I'd like to suggest that you start typing your Python on an online IDE or a cloud software so that you can save your programs and they're easier to share. REPL.IT is an online software. And if you use this online software, you have to go over here and either log in or sign up. I've already have one, so I'm going to log in, but you should sign up. It just takes a second to sign in for free. And then once you sign in, you can create your own Python here and save it. Just simple things like print will show up here so that you can keep track of what you've been working on. Once you get to the page, you say create a REPL, and you can choose your language. So if you create a REPL like Python, just like that, it's going to open up a screen that shows all of the Python programs that you've created and the code with some examples. And over to the right, you can see what happens when they run. So my computer's taking just a bit of time to load right now, but you can basically see where it's coming up. I think it's my computer. This should work. I want you to take a look at it. Going back to our page, the second one on here is w3schools.com. And w3schools.com is a great tutorial. I actually like it better than the other one, but learnpython.org is the one that's recommended by the Python language. I would suggest walking through these examples because it shows you the same stuff too, and it has a try it yourself function, and it talks about each of the pieces that you might use, and it has your exercises to test yourself, so they're both very similar. Going back to the page, there is one discussion, and that's going to require that you do just a little bit of research. And the research that you're going to do is going to be what other languages are used in game development. So I've started you off by giving you an article comparing Python and Java for game development. I'd like you to compare these two languages and then do a little research and find out what other languages are used in game programming and how do they compare to Java and Python. Please cite your sources. That is the only thing that you need to submit this week, but I will assume that each one of you have gone through the tutorials, at least somewhat, and read the chapters of all the books. Of all the chapters that are due this week, because there's 3 of them. So yeah, that's it. And if you have any questions, I'm available on Tuesdays for office hours, and we're going to meet I set up a meeting for the class on Thursday. This class meets at 10 o'clock on Thursday. So I hope this helps, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.